Good morning. I am 5 minutes earlier today. So, as usual, if you're watching in recording, you're welcome to fast forward or stay with us through our hellos. Good morning, Gina. Good morning, John. All right, it is time for us to start, and we continue exploring the seven basic identities represented by our chakras. Today, we will explore the throat chakra, which is the fifth chakra. It is the center of our creative identity. Here, we identify with our self expression, what we say, what we produce. In the initial stages of this identity, we kind of take responsibility for what we say by embodying it in our actions. Through our creativity, we identify ourselves as artists or teachers, entrepreneurs, politicians, parents, etc. And often this is how we choose our profession based on that. And it's important to mention that here we may also identify with our mistakes and failures in this area and block the realization of our own creativity. In other words, if I'm not a teacher, it doesn't necessarily mean I don't have what it takes to be a good one. It may mean that because of some perceived past failures in this area, I decided that I am not good enough for this. And this really is a tragedy, because how many of us stop our creative juices flowing out of fear of making a mistake or because we have been traumatized by some perceived failure? I actually want to share a quick personal story here because I think it's quite relevant. When I was about 7, I absolutely hated our arts class in school. You see, in the Soviet Union back then, the preferred style of drawing or painting or any form of art really was realism. And not many of us 7-year-olds could draw very realistically. We were more into abstract shapes and colors, and I think it's perfectly normal at any age, right? But unfortunately, my arts teacher made some remark to the effect that my drawing had nothing to do with the object we were supposed to copy. Of course, it didn't help that she said it out loud and kind of jokingly. I was so ashamed, so embarrassed. I just wanted to disappear right then and there. And apparently, it really traumatized me. I kind of unconsciously decided to never take up any drawing or painting or any kind of art for that matter. I just decided, and imagine as a 7-year-old, I unconsciously decided that I was no good at arts. And that's that. Over the years, I learned to joke about it, of course, to mask my embarrassment. But I never tried to draw again. So fast forward a couple of decades, an artist friend of mine in New York invited me to do a painting collage with him. And I was like, no way, I don't do this. He insisted that it would be fun, and I was still resisting, but he was so persuasive that finally I agreed to participate. What we made together was an abstract piece, like a giant abstract piece of painting, amazingly bright colors, and inserting some objects that he picked up as he was tending his garden. I cannot explain what I felt as I was doing it, but I can share that I was sobbing throughout the whole process. It was tears of pure joy because it was so much fun and it was pure creative energy just pouring out of us. It was tears of blind anger at my childhood experience with the stupid drawing needing to be realistic. It was tears of sadness that I shut down this creative part of myself for such a long time because of the stupid experience. Just wow. It was a totally unforgettable experience. Now, did I become a painter after that? No, although it would have made for a very good story, but no, I haven't even painted again ever since. But this did matter. This experience mattered a lot because that moment was truly a breakthrough as I tapped into my own creative flow. And I'm sure that it somehow helped me in a huge way to become the person I am today, just because I was able to be in this creative flow. So, through its ability to contribute to the larger system, creative identity always expands outward. And as we mature in this level of creative identity, we begin to identify with larger possibilities. As we expand into the creative flux of the world around us, we identify with our path. Of course, communication is the essential function of the throat chakra. In fact, communication is self-expression. It is a gateway between the inner world and the outer world. Only through self-expression does the outer world get to know what's inside of us. And we only know what's inside of someone else when they choose to tell us, right? We're literally making our world at each and every moment through communication, both spoken and unspoken. If I signal someone that I want them to come closer, I am creating intimacy in my life. If I signal that someone to go away, I am creating solitude or perhaps even alienation. So let's explore this together. As always, take a comfortable position and take a few moments to settle in. Scan your body and notice what's going on for you today, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you? Let your breath be natural, just observe its flow, connecting with the flow of life that expresses itself through you. Close your eyes. Connect with your throat chakra, visualizing a sphere of blue color emanating powerful energy from within your body as far out as you can feel. How much space do you want to take up with this light, with this energy? How much space can you take? Keeping with this visual, keeping with the sense of the powerful energy of your throat chakra, your creative identity, reflect on the following questions. What does creativity mean to me? And let your answers float to the surface as images, sensations, thoughts. What does creativity mean to me? How do I choose to express myself to the world, verbally and otherwise? How do I choose to express myself to the world, verbally and otherwise? How do I choose to communicate with myself, verbally and otherwise? How do I choose to communicate with myself, verbally and otherwise? Do I identify with being a creative person? Do I identify with being a creative person? Is there any hidden creative power inside me that wants to be expressed, but I'm keeping it a secret? I'm not letting it be expressed. Is there any hidden creative power in me that I'm keeping a secret, that wants to be expressed, but I'm not letting it? How would it feel like to allow myself to express this creativity the way it wants to, without any fear or shame? How would it feel like to allow myself to express this creativity the way it wants to be expressed, without any fear or shame? Once again, connect with the visual of your fifth chakra, a sphere of blue light at your throat center, emanating energy from within you into the world, further and further out, as far as you want to, as far as it needs to go. And as you imagine this, as you sense this, let's repeat the Bija mantra for the throat chakra. The sound here is hum, H-A-M, hum. We'll do it 7 times. Hum, 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 hum. Take a nice breath in and out and check in with your body again. How are you feeling now after the short exploration? Has anything changed? Physically, emotionally, mentally? How are you right now? As you go through your day today, I invite you to keep reflecting on the last 2 questions we explored. Is there any hidden creative power inside me that I'm keeping secret, that wants to be expressed, but I'm not letting it? And how would it feel like to allow myself to express my creativity fully, the way it wants to be expressed, without fear or shame? Enjoy. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.